All right, so number 7 from the review. You are trying to find the volume of this cone. Yes, this is 5 centimeter, not 5 meters. So if you look on the formula sheet, it's pi r squared h divided by 3. A lot of people somehow reads the formula sheet, but they forget to write the divide by 3 part. Okay, so make sure if you're using the formula sheet, which it is going to be given, you have to remember to divide by 3 at the end. So when you substitute it in, you realize, uh-oh, I actually don't have h. What is the 10 centimeters right here? Yeah, the slanted height. I don't want slanted height. I want the height. And so if I want to find the height, that means I'm going to do Pythagorean theorem by subtracting. Okay, so 10 squared, subtract 5 squared, square root it, 75. I get 8.6. That's my height. So I sub that into my equation, divided by 3. I get my final answer, 225 centimeter cube. Okay, so again, I give you the formula sheet. Make sure you copy it straight down exactly. Okay, don't leave parts out. Don't square when you don't have to square, and so forth. Okay, number 8, right here. You're looking for the volume. What shapes do you see? This is a composite figure, so what shapes? Rectangular prism on the bottom, and what about the top? Pyramid, right? Rectangular pyramid. So for the top part, remember any pyramid, any cone, it's always divided by 3. So here for your roof, 9 times width times height divided by 3, you get the 0.8. And then their base is just a rectangular prism, length times width times height. And then you get 120. Add them together, you have the whole volume. Okay. Number 9, pretty straightforward. You have a cylinder with a radius and a height. So you're just plugging it in to the formulas and you get your answer. Again, don't forget, if the question asks you for volume and surface area, make sure you show both and not just one, because otherwise you did half the question. Okay. All the questions, look at the marking scheme. If that question is out of 4, you know it's more than just something like this. Okay. So if it's out of 4, you're probably thinking there's a few more steps to it. Okay, so that's the number 7, 8, and 9. Again, all of this is on Brightspace. So if you don't finish copying in time, you can always go on Brightspace.
What do you mean by the roof and the base? You mean like the upper part?
Yeah. Yeah, so this is a house. So the top part is the roof part, which is the pyramid. And then so the formula is length times width times height divided by 3. And then the bottom part of the house, it's a rectangular prism.
It kind of looks weird because it's shaded in. So
Oh, yeah.
Like 2 shades behind each other.
Oh, yeah, it's the photocopier was a little dark. Sorry. Okay. Number 10. Notice this is a 2D shape. So since it's a 2D shape, you're looking at perimeter and area only. So on your formula sheet, the left side of it. And then so this, okay. Tomorrow you'll get exactly this sheet, this exact sheet. It looks exactly like this. So for 2D shapes, you're looking at these 2 columns. The 3D shapes, you're looking at these 2 columns. So for here, you're just looking for the perimeter. So this half circle and this half circle, it makes a full circle. So you're looking for the circumference. Circumference equals pi d, so 3.14 times the diameter, and you get the 97.06 meters. Don't forget, when you look for perimeter, it's simply adding the outside. So don't break it in shapes for perimeter. So the 2 semicircles, and then the top 49.56 and the bottom 49.56. That gives you your perimeter. If she can run 625 meters, you divide that, that equals about 3 laps. Okay, and then I want to put grass in here. So what am I looking for? Yep, area. That's right, because I want to fill it in. So area of the circle, pi r squared, you get 750, and an area of the rectangle, and you get 1,532. When you add it up, you get that total area. Remember, it's not surface area. It's because it's 2D. So 2D is just area, 3D shapes, surface area. Hey, number 11, it's a little tricky. All right. 168 milliliter. So remember the conversion. 1 milliliter is 1 centimeter cube. So that means it's the same. When you divide it by 21, that means each of them is 8 centimeters cube. Okay? You know that the volume of one cube is 8. So what's the opposite of a cube? Sean? Cube root. That's right. So when you cube root 8, you get 2. Just want to show you guys on the calculator. Okay, your calculator has the cube root button, but we don't use it much, so you might not know. Right, so it's this little button right here, the X and that. So you would do 3 second that to show the cube root, and then 8. So this is the cube root 8. Okay, which also means 2 times 2 times 2 3 times gives you 8. Right, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. Okay. So that means the side length of for one cube is 2 centimeters. Okay, so now number 12, you have a pill. Is a pill, Rashan, is a pill a 3D shape or 2D shape? It's a 3D shape, right? So even though I drew this diagram and it looks like this is a 2D shape on a field. This is a pill. It's a 3D shape. So when you put these two ends together, what shape does it make? Okay, think of the pill. You cut that, you cut that. Sorry? A sphere, right. Put those two ends together, you make a sphere. What about the middle then? You cut off the top and bottom. Sorry? Cylinder, right? Because it's a 3D shape, Carson. 3D shape. Remember? Okay, use your imagination. My drawing is not that good. Alright, so when you put it into the sphere formula, you get that? Cylinder, cylinder, you get that, and then you have your total. Now, the government made changes for the sake of making changes to the curriculum, so sphere will not be on the test. So when you looked on the formula sheet, notice there was no sphere. Yeah, that's because the government took it out and put it in grade 8.
And this question is not.
This question, oh, did I really take it out already? Oh, I put a more meaningful one, I think. Yes. Okay, so I'll go back to that one. Thank you, Stefan. Okay, let's take up these ones first, and then I'll go to the one that I put in instead. Alright, so this one, I'm looking for the height right here. Alright, again, when I'm looking for the height, do I add or subtract? Subtract. Alright, when I'm looking for the height, I'm doing the subtraction in Pythagorean theorem. Alright, notice I use 5 square instead of 10 square. Why is that? Where did the 5 come from? Yep, half the base. That's right. Alright. Instead of using the whole 10, I can't because this is not a right angle triangle. So I have to use 5. Alright. I have to cut it in half so that it's a right angle triangle right here. Okay. And then number 2 right here, I'm given 2 coordinates. So I'm doing my rise over run basically. So the difference in my run is 12. The difference in my height is 5. Base times height divided by 2. I get my answer. Okay. Okay, number 3. So Frank, northeast, southeast. All right. I'm going 21 kilometer west. So I'm going this way. And then 18 kilometers north, that means I'm going up. Okay. Carson, what triangle did I form? Are you sure? Right angle triangle. And whenever you see a right angle triangle, what do you think we have to do? Whenever you see a right angle triangle, the theorem, Pythagorean theorem. I'm looking for the diagonal, so I'm doing the addition. What? All right. Number 4. Okay, so conversions. Remember, conversions are on the test. Boys, you want to stop talking? Thank you. Conversions. Metric conversions, you have to memorize. Imperial conversions, I will give you the ratio. So in this case, I'm converting between 70 miles to kilometers. So this number right here, I will give you, but you need to know if you're multiplying or dividing. So to go from imperial to metric, you're dividing. Okay, and so you get 112 as the speed limit. If I'm going 120, that means I am speeding, and I will get a ticket if the police catches me. Then I get away. Okay. So John ran 100 meters in 15 seconds. Marco ran 120 yards in 16 seconds. So in order to compare, I have to change them to the same unit. So it doesn't matter which one you change to which, but they have to be the same unit. So again, here, I will give you this decimal, but you need to know, going from imperial to metric, I'm dividing. So when I convert it, that's 109.7 meters divided by 16 seconds. I get that speed. Now they're the same unit. I can compare, and Marco is faster. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back to the question where I changed it. Which question did I change? Oh, yes. Okay, so this was the new number 12. Because since I said the sphere is not on the test, so I changed the question. Let's stick this one up together. Suppose that the volume of a pentagon base pyramid is 380 cubic feet. If a prism has the same height and the same pentagon base as the pyramid, what is the volume of the prism? Alright, so what do we say the connection is between a prism and a pyramid? Yep.
Prism is 3 times bigger than the pyramid.
Right. The prism, the pyramid, something like this, compared to something like this. Okay, it's 3 times. Okay, so if I know the volume is 380, all I have to do is times it by 3. 380 times it by 3, I get 1,140 cubic feet. Cubic feet. Okay, and that's all it is with this question. I just wanted to make sure you guys remember the connection between the shapes. So whether it's a pentagon base, whether it's an octagon base, whether it's a cone base, it's the same. The relation is 3 times. All right. Okay, so I want you guys to try. I want everyone to try this question. What? This one. Find the surface area. Do you remember how to do it? Try this. Well, write it out. Write it out. I'm gonna come around with paper. Okay, so this was your hint. Remember, if you're looking for the slanted height, the diagonal, you use the adding one. If you're looking for the vertical height, you're doing the subtracting in Pythagorean theorem. When you do Pythagorean theorem, don't forget, you always only take half the base of the pyramid or prism, right? Because otherwise, this is not a right angle triangle. So I did this. I'm trying to find the red line. Let's see, what did you get?
Did you get that?
Very close. Very close. I'm going to go over it right now. Okay. So you're looking for the red line, the height. So since I'm looking for height, I'm doing subtraction. Okay, so okay. So I'm doing the subtraction. 20 squared take away 10 squared. Where did the 10 come from? Half of 20, right? If this is 20, you only want half of it, so it's 20. Sorry, it's 10. Subtract it, square root it, you get 17.3 as the height. When I came around, a lot of you got the 17.3, which is good. Now I want the base times height divided by 2. Remember, I'm looking at the big picture again. So my base is the 20, not 10 anymore. It's 20 times 17.3 divided by 2. I get 173. How many of these triangles do I have? 2 of them. So times it by 2, I get 346. Okay. Carson, what is this shape right here? How many of these rectangles do I have? Just 2? 3. That's where you made the mistake from. Right, exactly. So length times width, which is 600. I have the right side, I have the left side, and the bottom base. So times it by 3, 1800. Add it together, I get 2146. How many of you got 2146? All right, good. Now that you get this, try one more. Same idea. Okay. Find the surface area. Here, I'll zoom this in. Okay, and I gave you guys a hint. Okay, so on the formula sheet, as I said, I like all other formulas except for triangular prism. So this one, I can actually just use the formula. Alright, so this is the formula from the formula sheet. Alright. But what does S stand for again? Slanted height. Slope is M, remember? Slanted height. Exactly. Oops. Good. Okay, so now you try it again. Okay. So just like what we said, your hint right here was you were looking for the red line, so which is the slanted height. So slanted height means we are doing the adding in Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so 147 square plus 115 square. Again, it's half the base. Add it together, square root it, you get 186.6 meters. That's the slanted height. Now that we found S, it's just simply plugging it into the formula, b squared plus 2bs. B right here is 230 again because we're looking at the overall big picture. All right, so not 115 anymore, it's 230. Multiply it, and then you get this as the answer. If you rounded this to 187, you rounded too early, and you would have got a rounding error. Your answer would have been off by a bit. All right, so make sure don't round until your answer. On the test tomorrow, I am going to say round 1 decimal place throughout your calculation. All right, so how many of you got 138-ish? All right, this answer. All right, I thought you guys got this. Huh? Uh, B from the triangle? No, so this B squared, you're looking at the big picture again. So it's the 230. Because you're looking for the surface area of the whole thing. Oh. Okay. Yeah, so out of all the alphabet, yeah, they put B here and B here. It's if you want, you can not. If you want, you don't have to use A, B, and C. You can use X, Y, and Z if it helps clear it better. All right. So notice for both questions, you had to do Pythagorean theorem. If you didn't know how to do Pythagorean theorem, can you do any of these two questions? No. So tomorrow's test, I'm telling you, you have to know how to use Pythagorean theorem. If you don't know how to use it, you are not gonna do well. All right, copy this down if you need to. This helps minimize your mistakes. All right. I've seen a lot of people forget to do half the base. I've seen a lot of people do the adding instead of the subtracting. So copy this down. This will help you on the test tomorrow. All right, copy this down. This is your like hints, like your study note. Okay, it will help you. This is like your study note.
What if you already know this? No, buddy.
This good, but that's how people make silly mistakes. So I've seen it so many times. That's why I'm writing this down to help prevent you guys from making silly mistakes. That's the lazy way, Carson. You have a pencil, you have a paper. It's okay. When you write it down, it helps you memorize. Okay.
But I already know because I got the answer right. I got it all. Okay.
Carson, let's not brat about it now.
It's one question right.
Exactly. Let's make sure you can. How about this? You can brag about it if you get perfect on the next test. That's your challenge. That's your challenge.
Or you're not gonna get this
Yeah,
question. You don't even know where you messed up.
Okay. So remember this. We're gonna do Kahoot to have some fun and review.